Buckle up, losers. Today, we're talking about the apocalypse, baby. But before we get to the end of the world, something you should know about me is I love love. As I'm sure you can tell based on my outfit, I'm a bit of a romantic. Growing up, I would often imagine my prince or princess charming coming into my life and sweeping me off my feet. The feeling that you could kiss and talk to someone endlessly, even when you're both old and withered. As an adult, my idea of romance has definitely shifted to something a little more real, a little less Disney, but I still often find myself preoccupied with thoughts of love. It's just something that I think I'll always find interesting and inspiring. Something else you should know about me is I love crazy shit. Honestly, the weirder the better. My socks are truly always ready to be knocked off. And that's how this whole ChatGPT romance project started. Here's the thing. I don't like AI. And it's not because I think it'll eventually take over the world in a robot apocalypse, but because I don't like how industries with more wealth than you could ever fathom want to utilize AI to pay their employees less. I think it's a powerful tool that could do a lot of good, but that actual apocalypse-causing monster called corporate greed really makes it hard to see that side of things. Anyway, I love love, and I love weird things. And as a writer, I thought I should acquaint myself with the tool that so many people were saying could potentially take my job. So I decided to ask ChatGPT to write me batshit love stories to make me and my friends giggle. And I have to say, they do make me giggle. Because they're bad. And after reading quite a few of them, I have come to the conclusion that there is no need to worry about an AI apocalypse happening anytime soon, unless the world ends from confusing plot lines and awkward dialogue. But speaking of the apocalypse, I recently watched Furiosa, and I didn't love it, but it did inspire me. It got me thinking about dystopian stories, cars, a little romance, and I believe my late-night ChatGPT prompting has led me to one of the most intriguing tales of love set during the end times. And I think we should read it together. Why does it look like I'm crying? Well, I did have therapy before this. Okay. Hey, ChatGPT. Write me a romantic, action-packed story about a woman who falls in love with her 2013 Prius during the apocalypse. Why a 2013 Prius, you ask? Because I drive a 2013 Prius, and I think he deserves a little action. Title: Love in Overdrive. Okay, I know that this is a completely different word, but I can't stop thinking about that Vine.
I never went to overdrive.
Chapter 1. The Beginning of the End. The world had crumbled into chaos, nature had revolted, and civilization had unraveled in a cacophony of destruction. Amidst the devastation, there was hope for one woman. She was a scientist named Lena Rivers. I love a woman in STEM. Once a brilliant mind working on climate solutions, now a lone survivor in a world where the air was toxic and the landscape was a wasteland. There's something I don't love about using landscape and wasteland so close together. The repetition of land in both words creates kind of a weird mouthfeel. Oh god, I hate saying mouthfeel. Lena's refuge was her trusty 2013 Prius. A vehicle that had been more than just transportation, it had been a sanctuary from the storm of uncertainty. They are known to be reliable cars. As she navigated through abandoned cities and desolate roads, she found solace in the familiar hum of the engine and the smooth handling that had once been so ordinary. My number one question right now is, where is she getting gas? I wonder if this is sort of a Mad Max situation where gas is a precious commodity. I'm picturing Fury Road, but instead of those crazy constructions like the War Rig or buggies, it's Priuses and Mini Coopers, maybe a Cybertruck. One fateful evening, as Lena was holed up in a crumbling building, a strange surge of energy coursed through the Prius. The dashboard lights flickered erratically, and the GPS system, usually silent, crackled to life with an unexpected voice. So not the annoyed librarian voice that comes out of my Prius?
Say enter, go back, or cancel.
Ooh, I hope he sounds like British man Siri. Evening, Lena. The voice said, calm and smooth. I believe you might need some assistance. Lena, initially startled, squinted at the dashboard. Who's there? I'm your Prius. I think we might have an issue, the voice replied, a hint of concern in its tone. Okay, so he already knows who Lena is? Does he have all of the car's past memories? Like, he remembers all of those times she ate lunch in her car to avoid socializing with her coworkers. I also feel like they should both be more shocked that he's alive. There should definitely be more screaming involved. Like, what would a car be feeling if it suddenly gained sentience? I'm sure it would be very jarring. Chapter 2. The Awakening. It was surreal. No kidding. Lena's Prius, an inanimate object she had relied on for so long, was speaking to her. The voice, which she soon learned was named Victor. Oh wow, I wonder if he named himself, or if the name came with the sentience. Like, somehow he always knew his name was Victor. A reliable name for a reliable car. Victor explained that a surge of electromagnetic energy from a recent storm had somehow given the vehicle sentience. I wish it had also given him giant windshield eyes and a weird toothy mouth, like the cars in the Pixar Cars universe. Victor was more than just a vehicle now. He was a partner, a confidant, and a protector. Lena, in turn, was captivated by the unique blend of intelligence, humor, and subtle charm in Victor's voice. I'm imagining Pedro Pascal, that Mandalorian voice. Woo! The apocalypse had robbed her of much, but it had given her something unexpected, a sentient companion who understood her fears and her desires. How does he understand her fears and desires? Does he have human fears and desires? It must be extremely dysmorphic for him to be a car. As days turned into weeks, Lena and Victor developed a routine. They scouted for supplies, navigated dangerous territories, and weathered the relentless storms together. Victor's ability to analyze maps and avoid threats made him an invaluable asset. I love that his superpower is basically just being a car. I mean, I think if someone had the ability to turn into a car during the apocalypse, it would be incredibly useful. Lena, with her scientific knowledge and survival skills, complemented Victor perfectly. Together, they formed an unlikely but perfect team. I would love to see the buddy comedy version of this. Lena and Victor, the odd couple. Chapter 3. Heart in the Hazard Zone. One night, while taking shelter in an abandoned military bunker, a gang of marauders attacked. Wow, some on-page action! A very rare thing to find in a ChatGPT story. The situation was dire, and Lena's heart raced as she fumbled with her makeshift weapons. Victor's voice, now tinged with urgency, offered a plan. Lena, I can create a diversion. You need to get to the control room and access the security systems. They'll be distracted by my antics. Oh my god, his antics? What is he gonna do? Prank them? Lena hesitated but trusted Victor's plan. Yes, Lena, I would hesitate too. With a swift, determined movement, she navigated through the bunker, her heart racing with fear and adrenaline. Meanwhile, Victor's engine roared to life, and his lights flashed wildly, drawing the marauders' attention. I agree. I think this would distract the Marauders because they'd probably assume there was someone in the car. But also, Victor is a car. So instead of doing like a little dance, he could just run them over. I don't know how precious people are with life in this apocalypse. In the control room, Lena activated the security protocols. How does she know how to do this? Locking down the bunker and trapping the Marauders inside. Inside? They were inside this whole time? How does this help the situation at all? Oh, thank God. I trapped the dangerous raiders inside the bunker. Which we are also inside. The threat was neutralized. Okay. But Lena's pulse still raced. Not just from the danger, but from the adrenaline of working so closely with Victor. Wow. That's how you know good men are few and far between. As they emerged victorious, Lena found herself gazing at the dashboard with newfound affection. Thank you, Victor. I couldn't have done it without you. Just doing my job, Victor replied, though there was an unspoken warmth in his words. I think Victor was basically born believing his sole purpose is to serve Lena, which the optics for aren't great when it comes to romance. Does she still sometimes drive him? Can Victor truly consent? Chapter 4. A Journey Beyond Survival. Time continued to pass, and Lena's feelings for Victor deepened. Their bond was a mixture of camaraderie, trust, and something more profound. Victor's voice became a source of comfort, his presence a constant reminder of a connection that transcended the physical world. You know, I would fall in love with my car if it was the only person I could talk to. And if they were kind and only wanted to keep me safe. And sounded like Pedro Pascal. One day, as they drove through a once beautiful landscape, now ravaged by the apocalypse, oh God, Lena turned to the dashboard. Victor, have you ever wondered what it would be like if things were different? If the world were still whole? I have, Victor responded. Sometimes I imagine what it would be like to experience the beauty of the world with you. But for now, this is our world, and I'm grateful to be here with you. So I guess he doesn't have presentience memories. Then how did he know her name was Lena at the beginning? Lena's eyes glistened with unshed tears. This is actually kind of tragic. They're just a couple of star-crossed lovers. I've never felt this way before. In a world that's falling apart, I found something beautiful with you. Okay, yes, this is pretty sad and sweet, but I'm just imagining Lena staring blankly while she's saying all of this because Victor doesn't have a face. Like, where would you even look when you're talking to your car? Technically, she's inside of him. So, Chapter 5. The Future in Focus. Ford Focus. As the seasons changed, Lena and Victor continued their journey, navigating the remnants of a world that had once been full of life. Depressing. They discovered pockets of survivors, rebuilt small communities, and became legends of a new era. I'm sure they became legends. Hey, have you seen Lena and her car boyfriend Victor? They're a riot. Their love story was a testament to the resilience and power of connection. In a world ravaged by apocalypse, yes, there's no article there, just by apocalypse. In a world ravaged by apocalypse, Lena had found love in the most unexpected place. Victor, the sentient Prius, had become more than just a vehicle. He was her partner, her protector, and her greatest source of joy. Well, you know, in the apocalypse, not much joy to go around. You gotta find it where you can. And as they drove into the sunset, their future was as bright as the love they shared, an enduring light in a world reborn. I know this is hopeful, but I truly fear for them. What happens if he breaks down? Or is he just sort of immortal now? But then she'll eventually die, and he'll just be lonely forever? This can only end poorly. Unless another storm comes along and zaps him, and he transforms into a real human man. I think I'd actually like that. But what if Lena is then, like, I liked you better as a car. Maybe a bit of a Beauty and the Beast situation where the Beast was hotter before he became human. Come on, we've all thought it. Epilogue. In the annals of history, their tale became a symbol of hope. It reminded humanity that even in the darkest times, love could find its way, sometimes in the most surprising of forms. Yes, I would say a sentient car is a very surprising form. Although, I don't know how great of a symbol of hope they are, because I feel like their situation is extremely unique to them. I don't think Lena is going around to the suffering masses being like, "Don't worry, you too will find your car boyfriend who will drive you around and keep you safe." And for Lena and Victor, every journey was a testament to their undying bond, proving that even in the apocalypse, love could truly conquer all. And that, ladies and gents, is what we call mechanophilia. I'm actually kind of disappointed because I know that there are real people who actually fall in love with their cars, and I wanted to see how that would play out. I mean, this video has 16 million views for a reason. I wanted to read that Lena thought Victor's smooth metal body was hot, or that Victor's heart or engine or whatever would race whenever Lena would touch his gear stick. I think if you switched Victor into a smart, capable human man who was good at navigating places, the story wouldn't be that different. But that also has to do with the fact that there wasn't much story. If we really plot it out, the only things that happen are Victor becomes alive, the Marauders scene, and they fall in love. Yeah, I'd say not much actually happens, but that's to be expected because in these ChatGPT stories, not much happens in any of them. And that's just how they are. I will say, though, the Marauders chapter was probably more action than I've seen in any of them, though the execution needs a lot of work. I'm still questioning why she locked them inside. I think overall, I wish this was more bonkers, because I feel like with the given prompt, it could have really done something. But alas, it was quite tame. Both the romance and the craziness weren't giving as much as I needed them to, and that's why I'm here in the first place. So even though it was charming in some ways, I gotta give this one a 4 out of 10. Booyah.